Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFL Fantasy Fanatics video on the channel. It is Wednesday and we're back for another Trade Talk episode. I do apologise if I do sound a little bit nasally. I've picked up some cold from gather round, so thank you to whoever gave me that across the weekend. That's fun, but hopefully a couple of days time we can recoup and get a little bit better. There. So we'll go through, obviously, as we always do, as the most trade in-out players for the week, my top 5 targets and my current trade plans for the week. And make sure you do smash a like on the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. But let's get stuck into the most trade-in players this week. So Sardell Hawley is number 1, 11k bringing him in so far. -4 break even. Don't mind it. Essendon obviously got a good run. I guess the only question with him is he in the 22 or not? Because he has been the sub last 2 games. Obviously coming a bit early with Nick Bryan, unfortunately going down with an ACL. But I think they've got Langford and Jai Caldwell potentially back as early as next week against Collingwood in Anzac round. So if you've already got yourself a Cleary and you need the 60k from like a Gross, for example, I think Sardell Hawley is probably the next bet. I think he's probably my 3rd favourite rookie this week. Just because his job security is probably a little bit more shaky compared to the other 2. But he's a defender. He could be a pretty good option for you to consider. So I don't mind him as an option. West Coast this week, if he plays, could actually be a solid score from him. So don't mind him as the most trade-in player for the week. Nick Dacos is at 2, 8.2k, jumping on him, and for very, very good reason. Ticked just over $1 million. He's obviously completely bottomed out now. 136 was massive against the James Jordan tag. I certainly didn't think he was going that big. And, he went fantastic. So, got a decent run now. Obviously, the next 3 games could cop a tag. So, it could go like I don't think Brisbane will tag much, but then go like a Durham or a Setterfield into a O'Connor or Atkins. Then O'Meara might do a job. But then after that, I think it's a bit easier. Obviously, there could be like a McGuinness here or a Sparrow here. But Nick Dacos has just shown that what he can do against the James Jordan. So I think he can go well regardless. So I think he's a great trading target this week, just over the $1 million. So really like him as an option. Number 3, Caden Cleary, 7.2k, jumping onto him. He was fantastic on Friday night, just gone 83 points, -20 break even. Even had a couple of CBAs sprinkled in there as well. I just like him. He's probably my favourite rookie to get this week if you can afford the 349k. I don't think he's obviously as big as Bice as like the must-have rookie, but with a -20 break-even, if he drops another pretty good score, he's going up a lot of money. Bit of a tougher run sort of over the next 4 or 5 weeks. Port, Gold Coast, Gito West, Essendon, Carlton. But still, I think he can go pretty well, make some good cash. And he's had a couple of good scores, a 68 and then 83. So I definitely think he is an option that you guys can consider in your forward line and my favourite rookie downgrade of the week. Tom Gross is next. I like him over Sardell Hawley, but probably not quite as much as Caden Cleary. But that 28k might be the difference between you getting the upgrade you want, which I think I'll go through my trades after. At the moment, I need that 28k. So I'm looking at a Tom Gross this week. -14 break even. He's got that midfield role for West Coast and going okay as well. Couple of solid scores, 62 and 72. A little bit of a bump in game time on the weekend. If he can continue putting up these solid scores, just 60s and 70s for us, -14 break even, make some decent cash. That would be good. 3 of the next, actually, he's got a decent run as well coming up. Essendon, Hawthorn, tough, but then Melbourne, Richmond, St Kilda. So pretty good run actually for Tom Gross, and I think put up some more solid scores, and he looked pretty good on the weekend. So I like Tom Gross as an option. As I said, not quite as much as Cleary, but a little bit more than Sardell Hawley, I think. Number 5, Zach Merritt, 4.4k, jumping on him. The other 4 have been all brought in by over 5,000 coaches. But Zach Merritt, what a gun. He's just a gun. 134, even with a little bit of a Sparrow tag, but Sparrow just couldn't stay with him. Merritt just got it done once again, and he keeps putting up these good scores. So start off at a 96, but 138, 108, 134 has been fantastic. He just gets it done week in, week out, and fills all the stat lines. He's the guy that can put up multiple 130s, and with a pretty good run. West Coast, Collingwood next 2, really good next couple of games there. North is okay. Sydney's obviously tougher, but then obviously Bulldogs, Richmond, Brisbane's okay. It's a bit tricky, obviously. Gabba, Carlton, Geelong, Freo. It's a pretty nice run up to the bye. So I really like Zach Merritt if you can pay up for him. I'm still in the boat. I'd prefer Nick Dacos. I'd prefer saving the 120-odd K from him. But if you've got the money, your team's in a good spot, I think you could bring Zach Merritt in because he's a captain option every single week. So it depends where your team's at, but Merritt is a solid option. Riley Bice is next, number 6, 2.9k. He's still got a minus 28 break even, so really, realistically, it's not too late. But you obviously missed a heap of cash gen. 269k in so far this season. Obviously, he went up another 112k this week. Minus 28 break even. He's putting up good scores. If you don't have him, I think you can still go there. But it's you're not getting as much cash gen as what everyone else is. But with the minus 28 break even, I think you can still go there. He's got a good role, looking good. Miami Bice is someone that you need. So if you don't have him, you can still go there. Matt Carroll, 2k jumping on him. Scored a 68 in his first game last week. Pretty solid. I didn't really closely watch him as such at the game. So obviously minus 4 break even will make a little bit of cash. I'd prefer these other rookies. So like your Gross, your Sardell Hawleys, and your Cutting Clearys, just because they've got lower break evens and we've seen them for multiple weeks. Whereas we've only seen Matt Carroll for 1 week. So I'd prefer to watch him for one more game. But if you've already got like a Sardell Hawley and you need a defender rookie, you could go there. But I'd prefer one of those other 3 guys over Matt Carroll. Matt Carroll would be my 4th on the list. Ned Long is next here as sort of getting towards the end. So 8th most traded player for the week. 24 break even, 104 last week. And as Craig McRae said, he won't be sub for a while. Just getting it done. Like 30 and 26% time on ground, 31 and 24%. And then the other games, 90, 72, 104. He's definitely shown the ability over a good stretch that he's got a good points per minute. His game time even took a bit of an uptick against Sydney on the weekend. 29 disposals, looks good. If you've got like an SDK or a Fraser or something, and you could go one of them down to a Ned Long and go someone up on the other end, that could be a play where you look at a guy like a Ned Long. And if those sort of trades work for your team, I think you could go there. I'm not in the ability to be getting these mid-prices anymore. I've probably got to start really going one down, one up to try and catch up and get these upgrades happening. So that's what makes Ned Long tricky. If this was 3 weeks ago, I'd be all over the Ned Long pick. But because we're going into round 6, we're starting the upgrade season now. Unless you can go like a failed mid-pricer down to him and then use that money elsewhere to go and upgrade and deal with 2 problems. I think most teams probably can't look at getting a Ned Long this week unless you're sort of going to double cash grab. But I'm not sure if that's the play we're looking at this time of the year. Max Holmes, people jumping on him. I'm personally not looking at Max Holmes for next month. I don't really love this pick this week. Obviously, great score last week, 133. He's gone up a little bit in cash, so I made 16k, right? But he has been a bit up and down this week, so obviously he's copped some tags. So, yeah, over a ton, then under a ton with a tag. Over a ton, under a ton with a tag, and then over a ton. I think he gets clamped by Finn McGuinness this week, then potentially into like a George Hewitt, then into, if Collingwood do anything with him, then obviously Bedford, and then Port Adelaide. So it's a really tough run up until round 10. After that, though, it opens up, like Bulldogs, West Coast, Gold Coast, Essendon, and Brisbane. And then even Richmond after that. So, like, I like him later in, like, round 11, but not probably now. I think you've missed, obviously, the big score, and he probably gets a tag this week. So, if you're really keen, though, I probably can't talk you out of it, but I'm personally not going there for a few weeks at least. So, that's my thoughts on Max Holmes. And then Kieran Briggs is the 10th most traded player for the week, and obviously people making that ruck switch, going down to him to get that cash. So, it's a good option. I still probably am looking at holding these rucks and just sort of, because there's not a standout option. Briggs is a guy that is a solid option because you can go down to him, make some cash and go up on the other end. I still think I'd rather do a rookie downgrade than go a Ruckman down to Briggs, but it's definitely a play that I've considered this week. I just don't know if he's got this. We have seen big scores for him, right? But I'm not sure if he's going to put up these massive scores to make the cash back. And then get up towards the 900, 950, so then you can sort of do a straight swap to one of the other guys when we know who the rucks are. So don't hate it. A lot of teams might, if they got a Cleary already, they might just want to go, I want to go TDK down to Briggs, and I can use that money on top of someone to get an upgrade. I don't hate that at all. You can definitely look at something like that. Just some others. Lockie Ash, yeah, don't mind him. He's been pretty good so far this season. Obviously, the 60 in round 1 wasn't great, but since then's been pretty good. He is near 900k now, so you're probably looking at him and thinking, well, if he's going to be a sort of top 6 to 8 defender, you could look at it, but he's getting to a point where he's in a bit of a tricky price range. You're probably not bringing him in to make cash. You're bringing him in to be a solid defender, and obviously he's been great, right? The score of 63, but then everything else has been over 95. But you have missed out on some of those big scores. But I don't hate the Lockie Ash play if you're keen on someone like him. Darcy Cameron, I probably wouldn't look at getting in. Just you've missed the cash gen, and Mason Cox could come back in at any point, right? So I'm not sure about him. Petrarca, I like as a forward now, obviously. He's pretty cheap, so you could definitely jump onto him. Jack Sinclair, I don't mind. Jasper Fletcher, I don't mind as a bit of a value play as well. Realistically, you could go like a Fraser down to him, or not really down sideways, and then go like another fun mid-pricer to like Ned Long. I don't mind doing that if you want to get some cash gen, but you have missed the 2 good scores for Brisbane. They do have some good games coming up, but yeah, Jas Fletcher's probably in a weird spot. George Stewart has been great. I wouldn't look at bringing him in now. He's been fantastic to start the year, but he's over $1 million now, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so look at that, over $1 million. But he's been fantastic, right? So if you started him, fantastic pick, and he's been a knockout pick for you, but I wouldn't be looking at bringing him in now personally. Moving to the most traded out for the week. So a lot of these are pretty obvious. So I'm probably not going to have to spend too much time discussing these guys. But Sam de Koning, yep, can go. He's most traded out this week. He can go playing that key defender role now with Stanley back in the team, so he can go. Joel Frazier, yep, he can go. I did think, is there a world where you could hold him with Bont potentially back this week? Does he go back to half back and does like one of the midfielders go forward and pushes Frazier back? I just don't think he's going to necessarily be a guy that's going to make bulk cash anyway. So I'd still be trading him regardless. So I think Frazier can go. If you've got 2 injuries and you deal with them, he could. But he's been a failed pick since round 1, so he's got to go. Finn Callaghan can go, obviously just not getting it done. We thought the breakout potentially was here, but he's the one getting clamped now by teams over Tom Green. And obviously 110 in round 1, but that really should have been bigger. But then 92, 57, 79, 79. Yeah, he's just got to go. He's just not getting it done. And he can easily go to someone that could be top in the line at where his price is at. So he can go. Big X is obviously a tricky one, right? He's obviously owned by so many people. So I'm probably holding. It sucks he's losing bulk cash. And if he keeps putting up 70s, he could be like 850k very, very soon. But we've already lost nearly 200k. It hopefully turns around at some point. If you're in a good spot, I don't mind trading off a Big X and getting another ruck. It's just the trouble is who you're going to, right? If it's Briggs, obviously make yourself just over 200k. And that could be what gets you the upgrade. So I definitely could tick something like that off. But a lot of people have probably just got to hold. He's just, unfortunately, he's been an awful pick. And yeah, for 3 years in a row now, the guy that I've thought safe and I've paid up for. So Trerry this year, last year was Bont and Dawson. The year before was Rory Laird. They've all failed. And it just shows why we can't pay up for these guys at the start of the year, because they are very sometimes likely to be failing. So it's unfortunate. Obviously, the injury is a big part of that. And hopefully he can keep managing it through. But yeah, he's probably, unless he's named out, he's just got to stay for us, I think. Nod can go. Obviously, still out for 3 to 5 weeks. He can go. Pryor can go. Obviously, the 45 on the weekend means that his break-even has shot up a little bit. I think it's in the 36. And he's made some good cash. So if you start him, it's been a solid pick. But I think I'd be trading off of him now. He's got some good matchups to come, so he could stay. But if he's the guy that you need to trade down to get the money to go up, he can go at his time or getting near time for him to go. He probably can still make a little bit more cash as well. Ted Coasey can go. Obviously, he was he the sub? I'm pretty sure he was the sub against the Crows. Yeah, so he scored 19. His cash gen stopped. I wasn't a huge fan of trading him in just because we know Geelong and what they do with their subs and everything like that. But he can go. He's made some good coin from now if you started him. But yeah, he's got to go. Davidson, look, he could go, but he doesn't have to. Obviously, Saints this week at Marvel could be a good matchup for Davidson. But his time is starting to run out a little bit. Break-even now has shot up to 25. So he's really got to put like a 70 or an 80 up this week to keep, 26. Got to keep making that cash gen. But obviously, he's made a huge amount of cash already. If you need to trade him to Cleary and that gets you the upgrade, I could tick off trading him a little bit early. But obviously, there is an ability that he can put up a massive score. He's done it already this year with a 125. But outside that, he's gone under 70 in every game. So I think if you trade, it's not like, I don't think he's going to, actually, he could burn you, but yeah, if that's the cash you need to get the upgrade, I think you could trade him. And then, yeah, Murphy Reid can go. Obviously, his cash gen stopped. I think he's got a break even in the 40s now. Will Day's obviously out for a long time. He can go. Campo can go. Stone, Marais, Hall can all go. Sanders is interesting. He's been sold last 2 weeks, but if your team's in a good spot, then you could trade him early because Bont will be back. And then Treloar, I probably don't think isn't that far away. I think within the next month or so. And then, yeah, Lindsay's interesting. I'd be holding with Freo, Richmond, West Coast next 3, but he is a guy that obviously cash gen has slowed right down. He's a guy that you could realistically trade out if you're not as keen on him moving forward. All right, so my top 5 targets for the week. So at number 1, I have got Nick Daicos. If you can get Nick Daicos in this week, I think it's a great trade. I think he has bottomed out. Obviously, big score on the weekend, and I think he's going to continue going really well. So Nick Daicos is my number 1 target for the week if you've got the money to get him. Number 2 is Jaiden Cleary. I like him as an option. I think he's my favourite rookie of them all, and bringing him in to make some cash is a good move. So I like him. Tom Gross at 3. If you can't get to Cleary, or if that 20-odd K makes a difference, then I like him at number 3. He's got some good cash to make, so he would be someone on my list. Number 4, I've probably got... it's tricky, right? There's a few guys I don't mind. Like a Nick Martin could be at number 4. I like the run coming up, and now he's defender forward, so you could really look at tailing him. So I'll go Nick Martin at 4. And then I'll go Christian Petrarca at 5. I'm not including Bice just because I assume most people got him. And if you don't, you could jump on. But I don't think he's a must-have anymore. And I'm just putting in another name other than just another rookie. So, so like Nick Martin and Petrarca to round out the top 5. I like those options. But there's a few options there that you guys could be considering this week. Plenty of ways that you could go with trades in round 6. So, in terms of my trades this week, I've just been, working through what I'm going to do this week. If I want to get an upgrade that I'll be happy with, I've got to get Tom Gross over Jaiden Cleary, which sucks because I want Cleary, but I just can't quite get there. So going Wicks down to Gross and then going Fraser with obviously new DPPs. I can go Fraser to someone, I think, under 900k. So I'm looking at like a Tim Taranto, who I was keen on last week. I'm looking at a Christian Petrarca potentially with obviously forward status now. So they're probably the 2 I'm looking at. If we went Davo out, I couldn't quite get Nick Martin, which is what I would have looked at potentially. I could go Sardell Hawley and Nick Martin if I wanted to. I'm just worried about the potential sub-risk with a guy like Sardell Hawley. And I could, again, if Briggs or... So if TDK is named a Pitney, I could jump off there. I could jump off a Cherry. I'm probably just leaving the ruck so at the moment, but something I can definitely... look at doing potentially moving forward. But they're my current trade plans of the week. But let me know in the comments below what you guys are doing with your trades this week. And any trade question you have, leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them when I can. And if you want to become Patreon as well, we've got the Patreon Q&A later. I'm recording later tonight. So if you want to jump in on the Patreon and get more personalised questions answered there as well. Get free team reviews with the Ask Me on Q service, which you get for free. You get bonus content in there as well. I'll be doing a few extra bits and pieces over the next couple of weeks. So if you guys want to tune in there and head over to Patreon, feel free. Or if you want to go to Ask Me on Q, both the links are in the description below. Ask Me on Q is the personalised audio response service where you send through your team screenshots, trade scenarios, whatever you want, send it through, and you get essentially an audio recording, an audio response for your questions. So if you'd like to use that, both that link for that and the Patreon, links are in the description, but you do get the Ask Me on Q service for free as a Patreon member. So if you'd like to do that, then links are in the description. But make sure you smash like on the video. Obviously, Trade Talk is the most popular video on the channel. So we get, I think, there's a fair few views. So let's just say we get 3,000 right. If we can get 500 likes on this, obviously it only takes 2 seconds of your time. If you can spare that and smash a like on the video to really help us out, that would be fantastic. And if we can get even more than that, then that'd be great. So make sure you do smash a like on the video. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, as we're... I think we're just over 300 subscribers away from 4K, so we're getting there slowly. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do, as we can hopefully get to 4K by the end of the season. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow again for our captain's video. If you haven't checked out our round review from last night, obviously with Gather Round, it was a couple of days late, so check that out from last night. Captain's tomorrow. And then Friday Pre-Lockout Chat. I'll see with watch-alongs this week. Obviously, just being under the weather, I'm going to do the regular content, but we'll see if we do the watch-alongs or not, or if I just got to take another week off to get right for the next week. We'll see how we go. So, I'll let everyone know what's happening there. But thanks, everyone, for tuning in as always. Like, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow for our captain video. So, thanks, everyone. See ya.